Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I didn't record this morning because I was waiting for the words of Thiago Motta. It was not the usual press conference. Thiago Motta spoke not a lot, really short, but there is one thing of course that will make all the Juventini discuss about Federico Chiesa. We'll come back on that and what other things he said in a second, so stay here, but also Huijsen, Adeyemi. We have to speak about ADZIC, and I have something to say about ADZIC that we'll go totally crazy about. Let's see if you will agree with me or not. And then also Weston McKENNIE. If I don't, I hope I will not forget Weston McKENNIE because I need to see something that annoyed me a bit this morning. So put a maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe. Dai ragazzi, we missed, I believe, 65 Juventini to reach 32,000 here, Juventini of the world. If we don't reach them today, tomorrow latest, because then we have other objectives, 33, 35, 37, 40,000. That's what we have to do with this channel. I'm counting a lot of you because now we start. If yesterday we spoke about SOULE, today we speak about Huijsen. Huijsen that is gone. We already knew it. We were prepared for SOULE, for Huijsen to say goodbye to these two players. We didn't know when, we didn't know where they would leave, but we knew it. Our heart was divided. Who do we keep? The promising central defender or the fantastic promising offensive winger? If you could have chosen one to stay, would it have been Huijsen or Matthias SOULE? If I listen to my heart, I would tell you Matthias SOULE, as I explained to you yesterday in detail. Not that much Huijsen. And I will tell you it's something surprising, because a few years ago, a lot of people were asking me here on the channel, Beppe, because Next Gen was not that famous at that time, it was not that promoted at that time, but some people were telling me, Beppe, who are, according to you, the promising player that can do well in the future from that Next Gen, from that under 19 project as well? And I told you always, Huijsen, SOULE, Miretti, I told you, Kenan Yildiz, Nonge. These are the players that I mentioned back then. After SOULE, after Miretti, the first one that went out of that project to be in the starting list, I told you three names in that order: Huijsen, Kenan Yildiz, Nonge. And if I'm not wrong, I even put Nonge in that second spot. So you understand that according to me, Huijsen was one of my favorite ones. And it's a pity that is leaving. It's a pity. But if yesterday I was totally down for losing Matthias SOULE because in terms of emotion, affection, well, Huijsen, I lost a bit of that love. I already was prepared to say goodbye to Huijsen. For what reason? Because December, January, we understood that something was broken. He did some things, some behavior that I was not really happy about. And think about it. In this Mercato session, we were the teams that were on him, the huge big teams, because we always know that he's impatient and ambition. There were three teams, basically. Juventus, why? Because that's our player. And as of now, he's still our player. Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, the biggest teams that were linked to Huijsen. But for a reason or another, three teams, they held back. They tracked back. They said, okay, great, we had interest, we love you, you are a really great potential, but not for us. At the moment, today, not for us. In the future, who knows? But today, no. And that's where the second teams came in. A lot of offers for Dina. Newcastle, Leicester at a certain moment was interested in him. Marseille, Dortmund, Wolfsburg, Stuttgart, a lot of, let's say, second range team. Not elite, but the second one that are ready. Even Bournemouth is a bit lower. And who wins? It's Bournemouth, according to all the papers now, according to all the journalists. For what reason? Because in Premier League, he will play at Bournemouth, probably because of the project of a team that has ambitions, like him, but also being immediately, as from tomorrow, center of the project in that center defense, which Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich couldn't offer him. The second teams, Dortmund, probably Marseille, were not yet ready to offer him, and that's where he goes to that third level team. Let's call it like that. I wish him, of course, the best, especially because if we're speaking about numbers, about values, about 18 millions, which are not a lot, but you have to consider that he played one time 12 minutes with Juve against Milan in first division. He played, I believe, 12 games with Roma. He was not a starter, was not even in that European competition list. change of Mourinho to De Rossi, we all know. Well, 18 million plus the percentage on the future resale, which will be extremely important. For what reason? Because it's a player that I can already tell you, at Bournemouth he will do well. And he will probably in a few years, because he will leave also there in a few years, not only will be double the value, but probably also triple the value. And that's interesting for Juve, because we have that percentage of the resale. So when Dean Huijsen will be sold, these 80 millions can become much more. Imagine if you are able to sell him for 60 million euro, depending on the percentage, you can cash in, reaching 25, 26, 28, who knows, which is the money that Juventus actually started with. And that's something that we don't have to forget. Yes, 18 might look and sound really low, but that percentage on the future resale might impact it a lot in the future. Dean Huijsen, goeiedag, goodbye, adios. I said it in 3 languages, Dutch, Spanish, and English, because these are the 3 languages that we will speak the most from now on: Dutch, Spanish, and English, and not Italian anymore. For one that we are saying nearly officially goodbye, well, today you have also the agent of Mattia SOULE that is in Roma, in La Capitale d'Italia, to speak with Roma to finalize the last 2 details, and then to go for Mattia SOULE planning the medical. So the big question is, will he, as I always stated, not play tomorrow against Nuremberg, or will it be the last time that we see him on the field playing against Nuremberg with the colors of Juve, with the number 18? Let's see, I'm really curious, but anyway, we can already say goodbye to SOULE. If you want more information, go back to the video of yesterday. But from the moment that we have that money in our pocket from Huijsen and from SOULE, we go towards the 2 objectives that are in line. And if Todibo will be extremely fast, extremely easy, because we found an agreement with the player, we found an agreement with the club, everything is already done deal yet. The only thing that was missing was the money, the cash to give to Nice. But you can compare it a bit like the situation, you know, when you are going to a store that they know you, they trust you, you go to that store and you say, you know what, there is that new game, we are the 27th of the month, I receive my money, my pay slip on the 1st of the month, so put it aside for 4 or 5 days, I'm back, you know me, trust me. Where the manager of the store say, okay, no problem, I put it aside, you can count on me, there is your name, your label on it, and then you come in 4 days to give me the money, I give you the game. That is the situation, Todibo. Why do they trust us? Because we just gave them 20 million for Thuram, so they know that Juventus will have one word and it's okay. Koopmeiners is a different situation, because for Teun Koopmeiners, Atalanta is still on that 60 million request, which Juventus can potentially increase from 40, 45, maybe even going to 48, 50, not 60. And let's see if Atalanta will yes or no accept. Then you can discuss and we can debate, is it too much, is it not too much for Koopmeiners? We can do that in the future, but that's what Juventus will do, because that's the objective that they want. And I can tell you something, Juventus is not 100% sure to be able to satisfy Atalanta. And that's why today they are already starting to think about a plan B. A plan B that might also change the formation or how Juventus will play. Because with Koopmeiners is one way, without Koopmeiners you need to change everything. So let's see what Juventus will do on Koopmeiners, but that's something that we can see from next week. And then the second name on that thumbnail and title, the one of Karim Adeyemi. We all know that when we are mentioning Adeyemi, the first thing that we are thinking is fast, speed, velocity. Some people will tell you that's the only skill he has. He has more skills, I can confirm you. But that's what Juventus is asking to Adeyemi. Running fast toward accepting Juve and not to all the other clubs that are also interested in him. It's not only Juventus that is on the player. So pay attention for that. Aston Villa is, for example, also interested in looking at Adeyemi. Well, Juventus, they ask him to run really fast towards Juve, and from that moment on, going to Dortmund to speak with them. The requested price of Dortmund is the same, 40, 45 million euro. Can we speak about delaying it or splitting it in a few years? Maybe, but there will not be a lot of changes there. Adeyemi is a player that I can tell you, yes, I like, but my biggest fear on Adeyemi, 22 years, super young, is he a Thiago Motta player or is he a Cristiano Giuntoli wish? And that's extremely important. If both of them, they agree, then I'm super satisfied. If it's more a push from Giuntoli and Thiago Motta needs to change ideas, way of playing to adapt to Adeyemi. If it's only Thiago Motta, not that much Giuntoli, well, I will accept it because at the end, the most important for me, a fan, is that Thiago Motta is satisfied. But I wish it's not only a Cristiano Giuntoli wish, but I like the player. I like the player even if I believe that he needs to perform better. He can do much better, but he has a lot of potential for 22. At today, if I'm looking at Adeyemi or I'm looking at SOULE, I believe that Adeyemi is more ready than SOULE. At today, in the future, we will see. Then playing with a technical player as Kenan is on the left and a fast player as a Adeyemi on the right side with Vlahovic there on top, it could be a really, really beautiful combo. Let's see on Adeyemi, but I like. But I think that Adeyemi is not for SOULE. And that's the biggest thing. Today we are a lot of time analyzing SOULE out, Sancho, Adeyemi, whatever, in. Huijsen out, Todibo in. But that's not how you have to look at the Mercato to understand if we are increasing, decreasing. It's at the end of the Mercato where you need to judge everything. The biggest question that you will have to ask yourself on the 1st of September is our team on paper stronger than the one of last year? Is our team on paper more a team without paradox better than last year and the year before? That's the first time that you need to analyze. And then the second time that you have to analyze is on the 31st of December, before the winter mercato, saying what we thought was good or bad. Is it working or not? Do we need to adjust some things? And the final judgment is, of course, at the end of May, where you understand, no, this time even later, World Cup for clubs. Is it the mercato that was successful for season 24-25? We will see. I think that Adeyemi is the name that could potentially come in for Federico Chiesa, not for SOULE, because SOULE and Huijsen, they are bringing cash for a KOOP manager situation, for a Todibo. SOULE will not be replaced by Adeyemi. Chiesa could potentially be replaced by Adeyemi. International appeal, young player, fast, some of the skills, not all of them, but some of the skills of Federico Chiesa. Adeyemi could come instead of Chiesa. What are the words of Thiago Motta? After 12 minutes, I hope you're still there. He spoke about a few things. The most important one was the question about Federico Chiesa, where he said, really cold, really fast, with not a lot of words. He said, for now, he's a Juventus player. Then we will see. For now, he's a Juventus player. Then we will see. 9 or 10 words. For now, he is a Juventus player. Then we will see. Extremely cold. Extremely cold. Whew. Big words, huh? Confirming in a way, especially if you're looking at the non-verbal. Confirming a bit what we were all thinking, what we actually all knew. There are still some that are resisting, some that are dreaming. But that's a reality. Federico Chiesa is, for now, a Juventus player. Then we will see, and we will see is probably going out. Next week, we know it. Big objective will be to sell players. Milik, Szczesny, this. Chiesa will be there as well. Weston McKENNIE as well. And by the way, before I forget about McKENNIE, this morning he came back at the J Medical to do the medical test. I didn't appreciate one thing that he did when he went out of that J Medical. Honestly, there was not a queue. There were no fans because it was unexpected. We didn't know. It was not announced. You have Weston McKENNIE that is going out. There were two people. Literally two, not like 2, 3, 4, 2. One of them asked, "Can we take a picture?" He's retracting. He said, "I need to go to the training center." Where there is a second one, he's taking time to take a selfie because he was nearly obliged, because he was one-on-one before stepping into that car. I mean, no, Wes. No. I don't care if you leave, if you don't leave, if you are happy at Juve, if you are not happy at Juve. When you have 10,000 fans, you can't take your time for everyone. If you have 2 people, you stop and you sign for everyone the autograph because they are happy to see you. They are extremely happy. People that sometimes are doing hours of queue to see a player. People that are traveling kilometers. They are changing continent, time zone, whatever, to see their players, their Beniamini, their idols. You stop, because without the fans, you are not a millionaire. But I'm speaking in general for everyone, not only Weston McKennie. That's the thing that player they need to keep in mind. What else did he say? Thiago Motta. He said, we talk constantly with the management for the best. So we see it also in training session. They are always speaking with each other. It's a united group with ambitions to do big things. I love these words. We really have the ambition to do big things. Chiesa, I already told you. What about Thuram? He said he's in super form. Super shape, super form. Don't forget it also because he was already starting to train before everyone, because he should have been part of the Olympic team of France. So that's why also you have a Kefren Thuram that is extremely in form. And I will not be surprised if tomorrow Kefren Thuram could potentially one of the best one, because he's the most in form. While the other ones, they will really make sure to move the ball and not that much themselves, because depends. Because if you have Collinet on the sideline that is saying non c'è più riposo, there is no rest anymore, probably they will rest. But I don't know. Let's see. But so, what will we see tomorrow? Well, Thiago said the formation, I don't know yet. Let's see. Which is correct. It's not only about tomorrow, but at the moment you don't know. With KOOP is one. Without KOOP, it's the second one. With this player is this. With Chiesa, without Chiesa. So it's really too early to really define the formation that we will play with. But what does he want to see? He wants to see what we trained there in Herzogenaurach. I didn't mention it today. And one thing specifically, commitment. Commitment, commitment, commitment. Commitment, commitment, commitment. Commitment, commitment, commitment. I like that word. I really like that word. I really like that word, but a lot, eh? Impegno in Italian. Commitment. Then a few words about Dusan Vlahovic yesterday in training session. Not only on Juve, but you can see it also with Romeo Agresti, Colpogobbo, they all think because they were there. You really see that Collinet is killing them, eh? And at a certain moment, Dusan Vlahovic, he say, oh, from time to time, you can also say bravo or you are doing well, which is not that much. It's a different generation of players. That's something that we need to keep in mind. It's a total different. 20 years ago, 25, 30 years ago, when I started to watch football, well, the players, they were there. They were suffering, but there was nobody that would have dared to say, mister, we need a bravo, we need an encouragement. That didn't exist. Eh? Antonio Conte in 2011, which is not even that far away, nobody would have asked him or tell him at the first year of him in 2011, Antonio, we need a bravo, an encouragement. It's a new generation that needs the like. I hope you're still there because that's an interesting part. And now we go towards the last one. ADZIC, Vasilije ADZIC, yesterday in microphones. You see the words, you see the face, especially because it's in English, so you were able to understand it. But for some of you, you don't know what is behind that structure of an interview like that. First of all, it's Juventus that decides who to send. They sent Cambiaso the day before. They have sent ADZIC today. And I can tell you, Juventus sending ADZIC is a strong message. No, but seriously, a strong message also because they trust him, that he will not fail, that he will not mess up. Because when you are 18 and you have 11 journalists that are around you, which you don't see because you only see ADZIC, you don't see the 11, 12, 15 journalists that are around you with lights, you know, like in front of you like this, with the camera in front of you. You are 18, they are speaking another language, they are speaking in Italian, they are asking with the basic English the questions. It's your first year of Juve, you just arrived from Montenegro. It's not easy, eh? It's absolutely not easy. Juventus trust him to go in front of. He's ready to do these kind of things. They could have sent so many players that are already there, part of the project of Next Gen, that spoke Italian or not. Savona, for example. Muharemovic, that was even captain of Next Gen. They could have sent so many players. They decided to send ADZIC because he's ready. He's ready. On the microphones, on the field, and that's a big one. Then he spoke about I am ADZIC, which is super important. Idols, Messi, big star idols of Juve, Zinedine Zidane. I am I am ADZIC. And when an 18 years old is telling you in the face, I am ADZIC, but you see it in the eyes of Vasilije, he's ready. You don't see. You know, sometimes you are watching a player, you say, a young kid. He's young. He's shy. You know, I spoke with under 17 players, under 19, next gen. I can tell you that some of them I really could say prospect, fantastic, great. It's a kid. It's a kid. He will need maturity, etc. To Vasile, no. You look into his eyes, the eyes of I am ready. I am ready to eat the field. Mangiare l'erba. That's what I wanted to say. Mamma mia, I thought I would do a video of 8-10 minutes. We are here to, baby, I love speaking about you. Even if I'm not in a good mood, even if I'm tired, even if I'm a bit down in the last few days, I don't know why. When you speak about Juve, you speak about Juve. Grazie, forza. Juve.